Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. A dirt bike rider got into an argument with a camper at Joshua Tree's dry lake bed, leading to an arrest for attempted murder on Saturday at around 4:30 p.m. The Sheriff's Department says that Gerald Raymond, 67, was camping in the Sunfair dry lake bed area of Joshua Tree when he got into an argument with a victim who was riding a dirt bike near Raymond's campsite. The Sheriff's Department says that Raymond was angry at the victim for riding the dirt bike near the campground and that Raymond stabbed the victim with a knife. The victim, bleeding from the abdomen, returned to his own campsite where his wife called 911. The victim was taken to Desert Regional Medical Center for treatment. Deputies say that Raymond was also injured in the fight and that the victim was acting in self-defense. Raymond drove himself to High Desert Medical Center for treatment, where he was contacted by deputies at around 7 p.m. and taken into custody. The Sheriff's Department says that the victim is not expected to face any charges. Gerald Raymond was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $1 million bail. Tonight, the 29 Palms City Council gathers to face several issues, including housing updates and development code amendments, at their only April meeting. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
In what may prove to be a marathon meeting, the 29 Palms City Council will face a packed agenda tonight that includes 4 presentations and proclamations, 4 public hearings, and 6 discussion items. Per a state requirement, the Council will hear the Housing Element Annual Progress Report. A total of 989 more residential units must be built by 2029 for the city to meet the Regional Housing Needs Assessment goals. The next public hearing is also a state requirement, a status update on the general plan, which will ultimately be submitted to the State Office of Planning Research and the California Department of Housing and Community Development. Next, a public hearing on a proposed amendment to the Development Code pertaining to terms of the Planning Commission. The final public hearing will address several proposed amendments to mobile home parks and special occupancy parks development code that include increasing density, establishing lot sizes, and expanding zone allowances. Council will confirm the cost of abating an abandoned car wash at 6045 Adobe Road and likely direct the property owner, Stephen M. Velasquez, to reimburse the city within 10 days for nearly $3,000 or face a special assessment against the property. Council will discuss a contract amendment for Charles Abbott Associates, which provides on-call contract services that includes the city engineer, the city building official, and building inspectors. This will be followed by an update on the self-build housing project. Council will discuss possibly repurposing some of the remaining $37,000 previously allocated to purchase a mobile shower and partially fund a community resource center. In honor of a partnership between the city's Palms and Paws Animal Shelter and the Joshua Tree No-Kill Animal Shelter, Council will consider a donation request. Finally, Council will consider casting a vote and sending a letter of opposition against Assembly Bill 647, which would require cities to allow up to 8 housing units on lots with an existing single-family home, or in an area zoned for 8 units or less, without any environmental review or public input. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
Design is on the mind of the Yucca Valley Planning Commission, which will consider color change and mural applications for 2 local businesses. Here is reporter Adeline J. Wells with a look at the rest of their agenda for tonight's meeting.
The Yucca Valley Planning Commission meeting will begin with a review of an exterior color change application for El Comandante Taqueria, located at 56945 29 Palms Highway. Tonight will be the 3rd time the Commission has considered the application, which was denied twice due to colors and design being out of compliance with the commercial design guidelines. The Commission moved to continue the item so that the applicant would be in attendance to answer questions about the design. The Commission will then consider a wall permit application for a commercial building at 56193 29 Palms Highway, formerly inhabited by Bar. The applicant proposes to paint a mural along the north, northeast, and southeast facing building walls along the highway with a theme titled Celebrating the Flowers of the High Desert. Town staff recommends that the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Commission review the mural design and artist qualifications. Lastly, the Planning Commission will receive the Land Development Update. Tonight's meeting is open to the public and begins at 6 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The 29 Palms Water District will hold its monthly meeting tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. in 29 Palms. Here's Annalise Kuiper with a look at their agenda.
At the previous meeting on March 26, staff was given direction to research director benefits offered by other water districts. These will be compared and discussed. California Special District Association will be hosting their annual conference and exhibitor showcase in Monterey this year from August 25th to 28th. Staff will be looking for board members to attend, along with seeking approval for directors' daily stipend while attending the conference. The board will also receive a report on maintenance and water quality. Located at 72401 Hatch Road in 29 Palms, the meeting will begin at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, April 23rd. The public is most welcome to attend. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
Today is Earth Day, and all day long you can ride any San Bernardino County public transit system for free. That means Basin Transit bus lines won't cost you a dime today, and you can keep the car at home and let your friendly neighborhood bus driver do the commuting. Basin Transit has lines that loop around the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center and routes that reach all the way north to Landers, east through Yucca Valley, and they even have a line that runs down the hill to Palm Springs. Normal intercity highway fares are usually $2.50 for adults and half that for seniors, but today you can keep your cash in your pocket and ride for free. Every bus ride you take removes a whole car's worth of carbon emissions from the atmosphere. You can find route and fare info at basin-transit.com. And finally, the biodiversity here in the Mojave Desert means you get to see a variety of flora that you can't experience anywhere else. In honor of Earth Day, online news editor Robert Hayden joins us to talk a little bit about one of his favorite native plants that is currently in bloom.
If you're living here in the desert year-round, you don't have to rely on a super bloom to get your fill of flowers. Right now, there's lots of native cactus blooming, with creosote springing their yellow flowers out. Bladderpods, pentstemons, and globe mallards are all showing off their colors as well. There's another desert native that's pretty common around here that doesn't truly stand out until it's in full bloom. The Parry's Nolina is a green, leafy puffball of a plant with long, flexible leaves that set it apart from something like a yucca or a Joshua tree, which has rigid leaves that end in sharp points. The Parry's Nolina is a bit friendlier to get up close to, and the variety we have around here in the Morongo Basin stay low to the ground but can get quite large. They sort of look like leafy green fry guys if you're of a certain age, or maybe an Art Deco pom-pom. They like elevations around 6,000 feet, but you can find them in all parts of the high desert, particularly on the Chaparosa Peak Trail and the Pioneer Town Preserve. The 3.3-mile varied terrain hike has some rocky switchbacks with Parry's Nolinas right alongside the trail, and right now you can see them in all different stages of bloom. You've probably seen them in late spring or summer when a stalk comes out of the base and grows a giant cream-colored cone-shaped flower. These flowers eventually dry out and have a distinct sound as the flowers shake in the summer winds. The stalks and flowers can grow as large as 12 feet tall according to the National Park Service, which is why it's a treat to see them up close. There are some just emerging from the base plant, and they look almost like an elongated artichoke. Some further up the trail and in the rocky terrain have already sprouted flowers. Pioneer Town Preserve Ranger Mitchell Schlickenmeyer told me that they have noticed that the tarantula hawk seems to be particularly attracted to the flowers of the Parry's Nolina. The tarantula hawk is a large wasp that preys on its namesake, but it's best to keep your distance as a human too. I took some photos of the endemic desert native in its different stages of blooming, but you can see them for yourself in the Pioneer Town Preserve off 247 and Pipes Canyon Road. We'll have links and photos on our website, Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.